Hello everyone, welcome back again to my channel. I hope everybody is doing all good. As you all know from the title, today I share with you 20 amazing African party snacks that you can try for your next African party. If you are making a mini or a big party, you want to wow your visitors, then trust me, all these recipes that I've put together are so going to help you to welcome your visitors so well. If you are new to my channel, hello, this is Cooking with Efia. This is where I share easy cooking recipes, so if this is what you're looking for, don't hesitate to subscribe and be part of this amazing family. Now, without wasting much of your time, let's get started. Alright, so the first party snack we're going to talk about is milk and banana puff puff. It's very easy to put together, and trust me, your visitors are really going to enjoy the snack. Now, without wasting much of your time, let's get started. So we're going to be needing 2 bananas, and I'm going to mash it with my fork. Choose to blend it if that is what you want, okay? But I love to have some chunkiness in it, so using the fork to mash it is just a perfect idea, okay? So now let's mash it until it's 70 to 80% done. And as you can see, it's looking all good and just perfect. So now let's set this aside and move on to activate our yeast. So to a bowl, I'll go in with some sugar, yeast, and some lukewarm water. I'll stir everything together very nicely, and once that is done, I'll cover it with some cling film and with a clean napkin as well to keep it more warm, so that the yeast will activate beautifully. So now let's set it aside for about 5 to 10 minutes and it should be ready. Now whilst we activating the yeast, let's start by mixing our ingredients. So to a bowl, I'll go in with my all-purpose flour. Feel free to use self-raising flour or self-rising flour if that is what you have. Next, I'll also go in with sugar. And don't worry, I'm going to be listing everything in the description box for you to check it out. Once that is done, I'll go in with some nutmeg, vanilla essence, salt to taste, and let's check on our yeast to see if it's doing all good. After 10 minutes, and this is what we have. It has really activated beautifully, and that's what I'm looking for. Moving forward, we're going to add the activate yeast to the ingredients, and once that is done, I'll go in with my mashed banana. Moving forward, I'll also go in with some fresh milk. I'm using half cup of fresh milk since I use a lot of water to activate the yeast. You can go in with the milk little by little until you achieve the perfect consistency, okay? So now let's stir everything together very nicely until it forms a beautiful dough. Alright, so whilst that is going on, let me also use this opportunity to thank you all my returning subscribers and new foodie members right here. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for liking my videos, sharing, and also commenting on my videos, fam. I am very grateful. Thank you so much for doing that. And of course, I know definitely someone will ask if he or she can use evaporated milk for this recipe. Yes, you can use evaporated milk, but you need to dilute the evaporated milk with a little bit of water since it has a lot of fats in it. We don't want the puff puff to become very hard or very difficult to fry. In fact, I know why I'm saying you don't use evaporated milk. You can dilute it with a little bit of water to reduce the richness a little bit, and that's just fine. If you don't want wahala, just use your fresh whole milk and you are good to go. Okay, so now after mixing the dough, I'll allow it to rest for about 30 minutes for it to prove very well. Whilst that is going on, let's heat up our cooking oil, and whilst we're waiting patiently for the oil to get hot, let's check on our dough after 10 to 15 minutes, and this is how it turned out. It has really proven very well, and that's what I'm looking for. Alright, so moving forward, I'm going to whisk the dough a little bit for about 2 minutes to reduce the air in it a little bit, and once that is done, I'll proceed to fry my puff puff. Do you see how stretchy and nice the dough turned out? This puff puff really comes out very perfect. Trust me, this recipe was just a banger. I love the aroma, the taste, and how it turned out. Always do trust the process and you will love it. As always, I'm going to be using the catch and throw method, which always makes my puff puff very smooth and very presentable. I have a very detailed recipe on how to drop and scoop puff puff on this channel, so I'll leave the video link in the description box for you to check it out. Okay, the oil is also hot, so I'll test it with a little bit of the dough to see if it's nice and very hot, and as you can see, the dough is floating, and that indicates that it is nice and hot. Now let's drop in our puff puff. We're going to fry this on low medium heat until everything turns into the perfect golden brown color that we're looking for. As always, you need to keep an eye on it and check it from time to time. It's very important. Now, if you are still with me at this point and you haven't still given this video a thumbs up yet, baby, what are you waiting for? Kindly give this video a thumbs up and also share this video to your lovely friends and family so they get to see this amazing recipe as well. And I am also on all social media platforms at Cooking with Efia, so do follow me there and let's vibe over there beautifully. And if you haven't still subscribed to the channel yet, baby, what are you waiting for? Kindly do subscribe to the channel because this is absolutely free. Thank you so much for doing that. Alright, so after frying the puff puff for about 5 minutes on low medium heat, this is how it turned out. Do you see how golden the puff puff turned out? I just love it, and it turned out exactly how I want it. It's looking super good and very presentable. Now all that is left is for us to remove it, and I'm going to be placing this on a paper towel to absorb the oil in it a little bit. If you are struggling to get a party snack to wow your visitors, trust me, this recipe is your #1 recipe that you need to go for. You will love it. So all you have to do right now is to trust the process. I hope you're going to try this snack and you will come back with a living testimony. Alright, so now let's move on to our second snack, which is Pinkaso recipe, one of Ghanaian's famous snack. This recipe is from the Hausa community. A very easy recipe with few ingredients, and I know you're going to love it. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, kindly do subscribe and be part of this beautiful family. Let's get started. To begin with this Pinkaso recipe, I will need my all-purpose flour. You can as well use plain flour for this recipe. Salt to taste, my yeast. I'll also go in with some scallions, 1 medium-sized onions, and 2 scotch bonnet pepper. And we also need some oil for frying. Just few ingredients and you have your tasty and delicious Pinkaso recipe. So now let's begin. So to a bowl, I'll go in with my 2 cups of all-purpose flour. You can as well use plain flour if that is what you have. So that I'll go in with my yeast, salt to taste, and I will set this aside. Whilst that is going on, I'll go ahead and cut up my vegetables, which is the onions, pepper, and some scallions, which I will blend and add it to the dry ingredients, and it will give the Pinkaso extra flavor. Okay, so now after adding it to the dry ingredients, I'll go in with a little bit of water, stir everything together until we reach the desired consistency that we're looking for. Remember to go in with the water little by little because we really want to achieve the perfect dough. Okay, all right, so now let me use this opportunity to thank you all my returning subscribers and new foodie members right here. You guys are too much. High five to everyone. Thank you for liking my videos, sharing my videos, and commenting on my videos, fam. I am truly grateful. And if you haven't given your girl a thumbs up yet, kindly give your girl a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and be part of this beautiful family. Thank you so much for doing that. All right, so after mixing the dough, this is how it's supposed to look like, not too watery and not too stiff. So I'm going to cover this, and I'll also keep this in a warm place to double in size very well. So I'll keep this for about 10 to 15 minutes since I'm using instant yeast. Okay, you can also use activate yeast if that is what you have. And after 15 more minutes, it's looking all good. Just look at how it has doubled in size very well. So now I'm going to add in the rest of my ingredients, which is the scallions, and it's going to give the Pinkaso extra crunchiness and extra flavor. Remember, I've already blended some of the scallions, so if you don't want to add in this, no need. Okay, because I really want the Pinkaso to come out very crunchy or crispy, that's why I added it to it. Okay, so after it is all done, I'll heat up my oil and start dropping in my Pinkaso. So this is my first time trying how to drop Pinkaso, so I struggled with it a little bit, but yeah, we move. Okay, so I'll drop everything, fry until it turns into the perfect golden brown color that I want. Remember also not to fry this Pinkaso on high heat because we really want the outside and the inside fried beautifully. Okay, so now let's fry until everything turns into the perfect golden brown color that we're looking for. Alright, so after extra 5 more minutes of frying this in the oil, it is looking all golden as you can see, and the outside looks very crispy, and that is what we're looking for. So I'm going to remove this from the oil and place it on a paper towel to absorb the oil a little bit. Alright, so fam, let me know in the comment section what you think about this Pinkaso recipe, and I'll be glad to read all your beautiful comments down below. This is our second recipe on the list, and I hope you are enjoying this video so far. Now let's move on to our third recipe, which is chocolate and milk cookies. Trust me, if you are sick and tired of the same taste of cookies every day, try this chocolate and milk cookies for your party guests, and they are definitely going to love it. Now without wasting much of your time, let's get started. To begin with, I will start by mixing my ingredients. So to a bowl, I'll go in with some salted butter and also unsalted butter. Don't worry, I'm going to be listing everything in the description box for you to check it out. All right, next I'll go in with some vanilla essence, sugar, and I'll use my hand mix to cream it or to whisk it until I reach the desired consistency. So after getting the perfect consistency, I'll go ahead and add in my all-purpose flour. You can also use plain flour for this as well. Next, I'll also go in with my evaporated milk, and you can go in with the milk little by little until you achieve the perfect dough, because the more you go in with more milk, the more the dough becomes very soft, and we don't want to achieve a very soft dough. We want it between soft and a little bit hard. In short, we want to mix the dough until the dough comes out from the bowl very clean. So now let's mix everything until we reach the perfect consistency. Alright, so as you can see, the dough has come out from the bowl very neat, and that's what we're looking for. So I'm going to keep this in my refrigerator to relax very well. So while that is going on, we're going to go ahead and mix our chocolate butter. For the second method, we're going to repeat the same process with the first one, but this time around we're going to go in with some chocolate powder or cocoa powder. And don't worry, I'm going to be listing the quantity as well in the description box for you to check it out. So after mixing everything to get the right consistency, I'll then go ahead and go in with my all-purpose flour. So I'll also mix with this one very well until the dough comes out from the bowl very nicely. So while that is going on, let me also use this opportunity to thank you all my returning subscribers and new foodie members right here. You guys are amazing. Thank you for always liking my videos, sharing, also commenting on my videos. Fam, I am very grateful. Thank you so much for doing that. Right, so this is how the dough should look like after kneading it, and so I'm going to keep this also in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes and it should be okay. So our first dough is out and it's doing all good. As you can see, it looks very soft and just perfect. So I'll also wait for the chocolate one to also get ready, and when that is done, I'll start by rolling my dough very well. So I'll start with the milky one, which I'm going to roll it just the way you see it on your screens right now to get a perfect size that I want. Afterwards, I'll repeat the same process on the chocolate one and we'll proceed to the next stage. That is going on, if you haven't still subscribed to my channel, baby, what are you waiting for? Kindly do subscribe to my channel. Also turn on the post notification bell so that anytime I upload new videos on this channel, you'll be among the first person to be notified. Also, don't forget as well to share this video to your lovely friends and family for them also to enjoy this video as well. Thank you so much for doing that. Alright, so after rolling the two to get the perfect size, I'll then place the milky one in between the chocolate one, just the way you see it on the screens right now, and I will use my rolling pin to roll out the dough so that the chocolate and the milk dough will attach to each other very well. So that's what we want to achieve right here. So after getting the perfect dough, just the way you see it on your screens right now, I will use my love shape bowl. You all know how much I do love this love shape bowl anytime I'm making cookies. You can also use your biscuit cutters if that is what you want. All right, you can also use any shape or any cutter or even knife to do this. You don't have to stress yourself, you just have to play with anything that you have. All right, so as you can see, I am cutting it in between the two dough, which is the chocolate dough and the milky dough, to achieve this beautiful design. As I'm so much impressed with how this cookies turn out. Let me also know in the comment section if you love these designs and what you think about this milk and chocolate cookies as well, and I'll be glad to read all your beautiful comment down below. Thank you so much for doing that. So while that is going on, let me still remind you that subscribing is free. So if you haven't still subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting for? Do well to subscribe to my channel, turn on the post notification bell so that anytime I upload new videos on this channel, you'll be among the first person to be notified. Don't forget as well to share this video to your lovely friends and family for them also to enjoy this video as well. Thank you so much for doing that. All right, so just look at how beautiful this chocolate and milk cookies turn out. And as I said, You can use any cutter of your choice. So I have this crinkle cutter which I use to create these beautiful designs as well. So what do you think? Do you prefer the love shape bowl or this crinkle cutter shapes? It's very beautiful, and as you can see, it turned out so great as well. My family really enjoyed these cookies, and I hope your family is going to enjoy this as well. So after cutting all the cookies nicely like this, I'm going to place this in my oven to bake for about 160 degrees Celsius for 20 to 25 minutes approximately, and afterwards this is how it turned out. Fam, let me know in the comment section what you think about this milky and chocolate cookies recipe. It turned out so good. My family really enjoyed it, and I hope your lovely visitors and your party guests are also going to enjoy this recipe as well. All you have to do is to trust the process. Now let's move on to our next recipe, which is flaky meat pie recipe. If you are looking for rich meat pie recipe to while your visitors or party guests, trust me, this recipe is your #1 recipe that you should think of. Now, without wasting much of your time, let's get started. To begin with everything, I'll start by making my meat pie fillings, and I'll be using sausage for this meat pie recipe. You can use any protein of choice. So now I'm going to fry this on low medium heat for about 2 to 3 minutes, and it should be ready. Don't forget as well to keep an eye on it and check it from time to time because it's very important. And after about 2 to 3 minutes, this is how it looks like. It looks all fried and just perfect. So moving forward, I'll go in with some vegetable of choice. For my choice of vegetables, I'm going to be using chopped carrots, onions. Next, I'll also go in with some green pepper. I have some cabbage which I'll also go in with it, but since I don't love soft veggies, I'll go in with the cabbage later on. So now let's give everything in a good mix, just the way you see it in the screens right now. And whilst that is done, I'll go in with some seasoning of choice. And for seasoning of choice, I'll be using some garlic, ginger and onion powder, curry powder, and also a little bit of salt to taste. Feel free to add the seasonings according to your taste. Okay, I'll give everything a good mix, and lastly I'll also go in with some cabbage. As I said, I'll be going in with the cabbage, but I don't love soft veggies, so it's going to be the last vegetable that I'll go in with it. I'll stir everything together very nicely, and I'll also go in with some corn starch. Now the cornstarch is going to help thicken up the sauce from this filling a little bit. If you don't love it, you can just omit the cornstarch totally. After allowing it to fry for about 5 minutes, this is how it looks like. It looks very delicious and very presentable, and that's just perfect. So I'm going to set this aside and allow it to cool down a little bit before I use it. So whilst that is going on, we also want to go ahead and mix our flour. So to a bowl, I'll go in with my all-purpose flour. Whilst that is done, I'll go in with some nutmeg, a little bit of salt to taste, and baking powder. I'll stir everything together until all is nice and well combined. Moving forward, I'll go in with my all-purpose butter. I'll stir everything together very nicely using my hands, and whilst that is done, we will proceed to the next stage. Whilst that is going on, I want to also use this opportunity to thank you all my returning subscribers and new foodie members right here. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for liking my videos, sharing, also commenting on my videos, fam. I am very grateful. Thank you so much for doing that. All right, so after mixing the butter with the flour, this is the consistency that we should be getting. And whilst that is done, I'll crack in 1 egg. I'm going to stir everything together very nicely, and whilst that is done, I'll also go in with some milk little by little until I achieve the perfect consistency. If you don't have milk, you can as well go in with water and it works perfectly fine. Remember to go in with it little by little because it's very, very important. And your girl is on all social media platforms at Cooking with Efia. So if you haven't followed me there, kindly do that and let's vibe over there as well. Thank you so much for doing that. Alright, so after mixing, we have the right consistency right now and perfect dough. So we're going to use our rolling pin to roll out the dough just the way you see it on your screens right now. Now the thickness of your meat pie always depends on how thick or light or heavy you want your pie to be. And to cut your meat pie, you can use any lid or any bowl that have the shape or any shape of your choice to cut your pie and you are good to go. Now that I have the perfect shape, I'm going to go in with my meat pie filling. I'll close it and afterwards I'll use my finger to close it or to press it down just the way you see it on the screens right now. You can also use your fork to do this and you are good to go. As you can see, it's very easy to follow and you will love it. Trust me on this one. So now let's do this, and while that is done, we are going to go ahead and bake this. Now, whilst we're enjoying the video, if you haven't still given this video a thumbs up yet, what are you waiting for? Kindly give this video a thumbs up. Also share this video to your lovely friends and family for them also to enjoy this amazing meat pie recipe, and trust me, they are going to love it. Alright, so now we're done filling the pie with our meat pie filling. So I'll go ahead and make my egg wash. I'm just going to be using egg for this, okay? You can add in milk if that is what you want. So while that is done, I'll arrange all my meat pie on my baking tray, and afterwards I'll brush the toppings of this meat pie with the egg wash. Alright, so after applying the egg wash, I'm going to be baking this in the oven for about 180 degrees Celsius for about 20 to 25 minutes approximately, and it should be ready. Alright, so after being in the oven for about 25 minutes, this is how it turned out. It turned out really good and just perfect. Let me know in the comment section what you think about this meat pie recipe. All you have to do right now is to trust the process, and your next African party is going to be awesome. Now, without wasting much of your time, let's move on to our fifth recipe, which is our plantain chips recipe. Now let's get started. Alright, so here I have my ripe plantain and my green plantain. This is what I'll be using for the plantain chips. You can go for the green ones if that is what you prefer, okay? It's looking all fresh and very, very green, as you can see. So next I'll begin by washing my plantains very well. You can as well omit this process if you can wash your plantain afterwards. But washing plantains before you peel it is the best option because it's going to help the peeling process of this plantain a little bit easy for us. So now let's wash and set it aside. Alright, so after washing the plantains nicely like this, I will use a clean napkin to clean off any excess water around it, just the way you see it on your screens. After that, I will use my knife to create incision on it, and I will peel off the skin from the plantain very nicely. Alright, so now let me use this opportunity to thank you all my returning subscribers and new foodie members right here. You guys are too much. High five to everyone. Thank you for liking my video, sharing and commenting on my videos, fam. I am very grateful. Next, I'm going to be using my slicer to slice these plantains into the perfect shapes that I want. You can as well use any slicer or a knife to cut your plantains into the perfect shapes that you want. And if you also want to use the knife to slice your plantain chips, you just have to take your time and slice it so you can get a very tiny pieces. Because the more this plantain chips becomes very thin or flat, the more it becomes more crispy. Now, let me share with you this great tips of how you can start your own plantain chips business. Plantain chips is one of Ghanaians' famous or favorite street snack. In fact, in every traffic light in Ghana, you're going to see someone selling plantain chips. That tells you how Ghanaians love plantain chips. And I tell you, people are really making a whole lot of money out of this. But before I tell you the reason why you can make money out of plantain chips business, let's create new looks on how you can present your plantain chips to attract your customers. So you take a slice of plantain, you rub it on your finger, then you push it out, just the way I am doing it on your screens right now. You just have to be creative and people are going to love it. Next, I'm going to be mixing my salt solution, and this time around I really want my plantain chips to become very tasty and very spicy. So to a bowl, I've added in some garlic and ginger powder, salt to taste and some paprika. I'll add a little bit of water to it, mix it all together, and this is what we're going to sprinkle on the plantain chips for it to become more spicy. With the help of the garlic and ginger powder, trust me, you are going to love it. So after we are done mixing the solution, you just have to start to heat up your oil and begin frying your plantain chips until it becomes very crispy. Remember to fry this on high heat and not on low heat, because when you fry this on low heat, the plantain chips is going to soak the oil a little bit before it gets fried, and we don't want that. Okay, so now after you drop in your plantain chips to your oil, you begin to gently stir it very well for the plantains that are sticking together to open beautifully. Okay, alright, so after about 5 minutes of frying it, I'll go in with my sauce solution and I'll be adding in about 2 tablespoons of that. No need adding in too much salt because it's going to make your plantain chips very salty and we don't want that. Okay, so now let's fry this plantain chips for additional 5 to 7 minutes on a low medium heat until it becomes crispy, just the way you're seeing it on your screens right now. I just love how the plantains came out. It's looking very yellowish and very beautiful, and at this point the plantain chips is ready, so I'm going to remove it from the oil and repeat the process one more time. For this type of party snack, you can package them into a Ziploc bag just like this, and you can place this in a gift box or any other thing that you can present to your visitors, and trust me, they are going to love it. Now let's move on to our next recipe, which is our shawarma recipe. This chicken shawarma, trust me, it was a banger. All you have to do is to trust the process. Now without wasting much of your time, let's get into it. Alright, so we're going to be making chicken shawarma. So obviously we're going to be needing some chicken. I've already cleaned the chicken very nicely off camera. So moving forward, I will start by seasoning my chicken with some garlic, ginger and onion powder. Next, I also go in with some kebab soya spice and also some pepper powder. Next, I also go in with a little bit of salt to taste, rosemary and some anise seed. Next, I'll go in with cooking oil. You can also use any cooking oil of your choice, okay? I'll massage all the seasonings to the chicken very well, and once that is done, I will keep it in my refrigerator for about 30 minutes to marinate very well. And so while that is going on, let's go ahead and prep our veggies. Now I'm going to be prepping some lettuce. You can also feel free to use any type of vegetable that you love or you want, okay? Now after prepping my lettuce, I also go ahead and prep some cabbage and carrots. Now feel free to use any veggies as I said, okay? Now while that is going on, don't forget to subscribe to the channel because it is absolutely free. Thank you so much for doing that. Alright, so moving forward, we're going to start by making a shawarma sauce. Now this sauce was just a banger. All you have to do is to trust the process, as I always say. So first of all, I'm going to add some mayo into a bowl and also some ketchup. And once that is done, I'll go in with some powdered pepper. We are not doing too much with the sauce, but trust me, it tastes heavenly. You will love it. All you have to do is to trust the process. Now let's stir everything together very nicely, just the way you see it on the screens right now. And this is how it should be looking. Now let's set this aside and move on. Moving forward, I'll also heat up my grilling pan. And once that is done, I'll transfer my chicken into it, and I'll start by frying this on low medium heat until it is nice and ready. Remember as always to keep an eye on it, okay? So now while that is going on, let me also use this opportunity to thank you all my returning subscribers and new foodie members right here. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for liking my videos, sharing and also commenting on my videos. Fam, I am very grateful. And if you haven't still given this video a thumbs up yet, baby, what are you waiting for? Can you give this video a thumbs up and also turn on the post notification bell so that anytime I upload new videos like this, you will be among the first person to be notified. Thank you so much for doing that. Alright, so I have been frying the chicken for about 20 minutes now, and this is how it looks like. It's now perfect and ready. So I'm going to set this aside and I will start by grilling my sausage as well. Feel free to use any protein of your choice, but for today we're just going in with some chicken and sausage and we are good to go, okay? Now while that is done, we also want to go ahead and start by making our vegetable sauce, and this is going to take the shawarma taste to another level. As I said, feel free to use any veggies of your choice. Alright, so now that I have all the veggies in a bowl, I'll then go ahead and go in with my shawarma sauce which I made earlier on, and once that is done, I will combine everything together very nicely until everything is nice and well incorporated. Always make sure your shawarma sauce is enough to cover your veggies, okay? We really want our shawarma to taste really good, so don't be prepared or stingy because we really want to have a very good taste of every bite. So kindly note it, okay? Now after mixing everything together, this is how it looks like. As you can see, it looks super good and very tasty already. Now this is our shawarma wraps. I already have the recipe on the channel. I'll leave the video link in the description box for you to check it out. One thing I love about this shawarma bread was that I didn't make the shawarma is of the same day. I kept the bread for 2 days, and as you can see, this is 2 days, and as you can see, the shawarma bread still looks very fresh and soft, and that's just perfect. All you have to do is to trust the process, as I always say. Now I'm going to brush my shawarma bread with some of the shawarma sauce that I made earlier on, okay? And once that is done, I'll fill in with some veggies, sausage, and meat. I mean the chicken, okay? Now afterwards, I'll fold it just the way I want it. All you have to do is to fold so that the veggies and everything inside the shawarma won't come out. So I'm going to repeat the same process until everything is nice and ready. Always make sure to be generous with your protein, okay? While that is going on, I'm still reminding you that subscribing is free. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel and also turn on the post notification bell so that anytime I upload amazing recipes like this, you will be among the first person to be notified. Thank you so much for doing that. Alright, so now after wrapping the shawarma, I will place it in my grilling pan for about 2 minutes for the shawarma to seal very well. Alright, so now this is how our chicken shawarma looks like. Very presentable, and trust me, if you serve your party guests with this type of chicken shawarma, they are not going to say no to it because it tastes amazing. All you have to do is to trust the process and you're going to love it. Now let's move on to our next party snack, which is coconut chips. Just look at how presentable and appetizing this coconut chips looks like. It does not only look presentable, but also it tastes really good. One of my favorite coconut chips of all time. Trust me, you're going to love it. All you have to do is to trust the process. Now, without wasting much of your time, let's get started. So now let's start by putting our ingredients together. So to a bowl, I'll go in with my all-purpose flour. I'm using 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour. Next, I also go in with 1/4 cup of salted butter. Now let's mix everything together with a clean hands, and while that is done, we will proceed to the next stage. Next, I'll go in with 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg, 1/4 cup of evaporated milk. You can substitute this for powdered milk. I'll also go in with 1/2 tablespoon of vanilla essence, 1 egg, and don't forget to go in with some salt to taste as well. Now for this recipe, I'm not going to be using any other water but coconut water. So the water you see me adding to it was coconut water. I'll be using the matured coconut for this recipe. So now let's crack it, remove the shell from it, and we're going to blend until it's nice and very smooth. Remember to go in with just a little bit of water to allow it to blend very easily, okay? You can also grate it if that is what you want. Now after adding in the blended coconut, I'll go in with some sugar as well. Always adjust to your taste. Let's stir everything together beautifully until it forms a beautiful dough. Now whilst I was mixing the dough, I realized it was a little bit soft to my liking, so I needed to go in with about a 1/4 cup of flour. Always make sure not to go in with too much coconut water or milk to make the dough very soft, okay? Now after putting everything together, this is how the dough looks like. It's looking super good and perfect. This is the perfect consistency that I'm looking for. The dough should come out from the bowl very nicely. Alright, so next let's knead the dough for about 1 minute to make it more stretchy and extra soft. And while that is done, I'm going to divide the dough into 2 equal parts, and I will start to roll it out until I achieve the perfect thickness that I want. Always make sure to fly your working surface and also the top of your dough as well, so that the rolling pin will not be sticking to the dough and also make the rolling process very easily. Okay, so now let's roll it out until we achieve the perfect thickness that we're looking for. Now while that is going on, let me use this opportunity to thank you all my returning subscribers and new foodie members right here. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for liking my video, sharing, and also commenting on my videos, fam. I am very grateful. And if you haven't still subscribed to the channel yet, baby, what are you waiting for? Kindly do subscribe to my channel because it is absolutely free. Thank you so much for doing that. Alright, so now we're done with the first part. We're going to repeat the same process until everything is nice and ready. As always, giving this video a thumbs up is also important, so don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and also share this video to your lovely friends and family so they get to see this amazing recipe as well. Thank you so much for doing that. Alright, so before we cut our dough into the size that we're looking for, let's heat up our cooking oil, and while that is done, we will proceed by cutting our dough into the perfect size that we're looking for. Feel free to cut your dough into any shapes that you want. If you have scissors, knife, blade, cookies cutter, just feel free to use it. Okay, it totally depends on you. So now let's cut it according to how I want it. Alright, so at this point, if you haven't still followed me on all social media platforms, baby, what are you waiting for? Kindly do follow me on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok. I'm on everywhere. Do follow me and let's vibe beautifully. Okay, alright, so now that we are done cutting the dough, let's check on our oil to see if it's nice and very hot. So I'll test it with one of the dough to see if it's very hot, and as you can see, it's doing just perfect. It's floating, indicating that it's just okay for me to go in with my chips. So I'm going to fry this on low medium heat until it starts to turn into the perfect golden brown color that I'm looking for. Always make sure to keep an eye on it as well. It's very important. So now let's fry on low medium heat until we achieve the perfect consistency. Welcome back from that short break. If you are still with me, thank you so much. Alright, so now I've been frying the chips on low medium heat for about 5 minutes now, and as you can see, it's looking super golden and perfect, just the way I want it. So now let's remove everything, and we're going to repeat the same process until everything is nice and ready. So this is my second time of making this party chips. My first time was at a friend's father's funeral just recently, and trust me, I really made a whole bunch of chips with different flavors. But this coconut chips and another one, which I'll be bringing the recipe soon, was the talk of the day. It turned out really good, just like this, and the taste is what matters. Everybody was in love with it. So it doesn't matter whether it is wedding ceremony, funeral, or any get together, it doesn't matter. All you have to do is to trust the process, and your guests are really going to love it. Trust me on this one. Alright, so now we're done with the coconut chips. Let's move on to our next party snack. So the next party snack we're going to talk about is the easiest puff puff recipe As you can see from the title, it's very easy to put together, but trust me, it is heavily. So if you are in a rush to make something quick for your visitors to enjoy, trust me, this easiest puff puff recipe is one of the recipe that you need to think of. You will love it. As I always say, always do trust the process. Now, without wasting much of your time, let's get started. To a bowl, I'll go in with my 3 cups of all-purpose flour. You can also use plain flour, soft flour, if that is what you have, okay? So moving forward, I'll go in with some half cup of sugar as well. Use any sweetener of your choice. I'll go in with about half tablespoon of nutmeg. Next, I'll go in with half tablespoon of salt as well, and 2 tablespoons of melted butter. Moving forward, I'll go in with some half tablespoon of vanilla essence as well. I'll give everything a good mix, just the way you see it on your screens right now. And whilst that is done, I'll go in with my active dried yeast. Okay, so I activated it off camera. I guess everybody knows how to activate yeast, okay? So after adding everything, I also go in with some evaporated milk as well, and trust me, all these ingredients coming together is going to make this puff puff taste really good. Trust me on this one. So now let's mix everything well, and we also want to make sure to go in with the water little by little so that we will achieve a very beautiful and nice dough. And so while that is going on, I want to also use this opportunity to thank you all my returning subscribers and new foodie members right here. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for liking my videos, sharing, also commenting on my videos, fam. I am very grateful. Thank you so much for doing that. Alright, so as you can see, I am doing this with my hand. Yes, today I feel like mixing my puff puff with my hand. You can also use your spatula to do this, okay? And your girl is also on all social media platforms at Cooking with Ifya, so kindly follow me there as well, and let's grow together beautifully. Thank you so much for doing that. Alright, so as you can see, I am done mixing the dough. So we're going to learn how to drop a puff puff. I have a lot of comments about how I do drop my puff puff. I have a very detailed recipe on the channel, so I'll leave that video link also in the description box for you to check it out. Okay, so now let's just watch this and see if we can be perfect on it. So as you can see, I am trying and catching the dough to create smoothness on the dough, and once that is done, I will scoop it in between my fingers, just the way you see it on your screens right now. It's very easy. So if you want to see how I drop it in details, I'll leave that video link, as I said, in the description box for you to check it out. So now let's cover it and allow it to rest for about 30 minutes, and afterwards we will be back to check on it and also heat up some cooking oil as well. So we're going to be using any cooking oil to fry this puff puff. And as a beginner, if you don't want to create any wahala for yourself, you just have to test your oil with some puff puff, I mean a little bit of the dough. So when you see that the dough is floating on the surface of the oil and is beginning to fry, that indicates that the oil is ready. So now the oil is nice and very hot. Let's go in with our puff puff and let's fry until everything turns into the perfect golden brown color that we're looking for. Remember, as always, to fry this on low medium heat until it's nice and golden brown. While that is going on, if you haven't still subscribed to the channel yet, what are you waiting for? Can you do subscribe to the channel? Also turn on the post notification bell so that anytime I upload new videos like this, you'll be among the first person to be notified. Don't forget as well to share this video to your lovely friends and family for them also to enjoy this amazing recipe as well. Thank you so much for doing that. Alright, so after frying the puff puff on low medium heat for about 10 minutes, this is how it turned out. It turned out so good and just perfect. So fam, what do you think about this easy puff puff recipe? I hope you're going to give this recipe a try, and I'll be waiting for you in the comment section to read all your wonderful feedbacks afterwards. So if you're still with me at this point, thank you so much for staying with me. Now let's move on to our next recipe, which is fried yam, the most talked about recipe. This is one of the crispiest fried yam that you can think of. In fact, there is nothing to talk about in this recipe because it looks super good already. So all you have to do is to sit back and enjoy the recipe. Alright, so now I have my yam right here. This is pona yam, very popular in Ghana, and it's very sweet. Let's start by cutting the yam into the size which my hands can handle. Okay, once that is done, I'll peel off the skin from the yam just the way you see it on your screens right now. So now let's peel the yam, and once that is done, we will proceed to our next stage. Now while that is going on, let me use this opportunity to thank you all my returning subscribers and new foodie members right here. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for liking my videos, sharing, and also commenting on my videos, fam. I am very grateful. Thank you so much for doing that. Alright, so now we're done peeling the yam. So now let's start by cutting the yam into the size that we're looking for. You can feel free to cut it according to any shape or size that you want. Just be creative, or you just have to play with it, okay? Now, since we're making a typical street style fried yam, let's cut it according to how the Switzerlanders cut it. Alright? Moving forward, I'll go in with a little bit of water and I'll wash thoroughly for about 2 to 3 times until the water runs out very clear. I'll do the rest off camera. Now we're done washing the yam, so let's transfer it into a different bowl. I'll go in with some salt to taste and also some turmeric powder. Now you can use yellow food color if that is what you want, or if you don't want it, you can omit it totally. Let's add in a little bit of water, enough water to cover the yam, and once that is done, we will leave it to rest for about 10 to 15 minutes for the turmeric powder and the salt to do its own thing. The turmeric powder is going to allow the yam turn into a yellowish color or a golden color, if I should say. But if you don't want to add in any food color or any turmeric powder, then you can omit both totally, okay? So after 15 minutes of soaking it in water, this is how it turned out. It's looking a little bit yellow, and that's just perfect, okay? Let's go ahead and heat up our cooking oil. We're going to start by frying our yam right away, okay? Now the oil is nice and very hot, so let's go in with our yam. And this is deep frying, so the oil should be a little bit more. You need to be very generous with the oil, okay? And you also need to allow the oil to get very hot before you go in with your yam, because we don't want the yam to soak the oil at all, okay? So now let's fry this on high heat, and we're going to fry this for about 15 minutes approximately, and it should be ready. As always, you should be checking it from time to time. So let's fry until it's nice and ready. And we're going to be pairing this yam with some hot pepper and fried fish. You can also enjoy this just like that, and you are good to go. But a typical Ghanaian street style fried yam always goes with hot pepper, fried fish, or fried sausage. So today I'll be enjoying mine with fried fish. As I said, I'll be bringing the recipe of this fried fish. This is a typical street style fried fish to you very soon. So if you haven't still subscribed to the channel, do subscribe. Turn on the post notification bell so that anytime I upload new videos like this, you'll be among the first person to be notified. Thank you so much for doing that. Alright, so let's move on to grind our pepper sauce. I'll start off by grinding some onions, and when that is done, I also go in with my pepper. I'll be using a mix of green pepper and red pepper for this recipe, and trust me, feel free to use any type of pepper of your choice. Everything right here is totally to your taste. Alright, so now that the pepper is nice and very smooth, I'll go in with some fresh tomatoes to bring down the heat a little bit, and also helps the pepper taste really good. Don't forget to go in with some salt. As I said, always adjust to your taste. Let's grind everything together until all is nice and well incorporated. Now the pepper is doing all good and just perfect, so let's set it aside. Now we're back to check on our yam after 10 to 15 minutes, and this is how it looks like. It's looking super crispy, and I just love how jello it turned out. Now as you can see, the yam looks super crispy, so all that is left is for us to remove this from the oil, and we're going to place this on a paper towel to absorb the oil a little bit. And while that is done, all that is left is for us to serve ourselves and enjoy. Today I share with you super crunchy party style chin chin ACHOMO, or any other way you want to call it. This is milk and egg chin chin. Very easy to put together. The outcome looks so amazing and you will love it as well. Now all you have to do right now is to trust the process. So I'll add some all-purpose flour into my mixing bowl. I'll be using 3 cups of all-purpose flour, and don't worry, I'm going to be listing everything I use in the description box for you to check it out. Okay, now I'll also go in with some sugar, which is half cup of sugar, half tablespoon of salt, and also half tablespoon of baking powder. Next I'll go in with half tablespoon of nutmeg, 2 eggs, and you can also omit the eggs if you don't want to. Okay, now let's go in with some vanilla essence for flavor, and also some salted butter or margarine. I'll stir everything together very nicely using my hands until all the ingredients are well incorporated. So whilst everything is nicely combined, I'll also go in with some milk, and I'm using evaporated milk right here. Use any type of milk of your choice. Okay, I'll go in with it little by little until the dough comes out from the bowl very nicely. Now whilst that is going on, let me also use this opportunity to thank you all my returning subscribers and new video members right here. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for liking my videos, sharing, and also commenting on my videos. I am very grateful. Thank you so much for doing that. Next, I'll flour my working surface, and once that is done, I'll knead the dough for about 1 minute until it becomes very stretchy and very easy to work with. So now let's knead the dough until it's nice and ready. So whilst we're kneading the dough, let me still remind you that subscribing is free. So if you haven't still done that yet, what are you waiting for? Kindly do subscribe to my channel Also do turn on the post notification bell so that anytime I upload new videos like this, you will be among the first person to be notified. Thank you so much for doing that. Alright, so after kneading the dough, I'll use my rolling pin to roll out the dough until I achieve the perfect thickness that I'm looking for. If you want your chin chin to become very crunchy, then you need to really roll out your dough to get a very thin size. Whether you like it more crunchy or less, it totally depends on you. Alright, so now after rolling out your dough, just use your knife to create some incisions or create some lines in it, and you also need to cut it into square shapes just the way I am doing with the knife. If you don't feel comfortable using the knife, feel free to use any cutter of your choice. I feel very comfortable anytime I use the scissors, so you can also choose to use that. Okay, now after cutting everything, this is what we have. It's looking super good and just perfect. Now all that is left right now is to start to heat up some cooking oil and start to fry this right away. No need resting the dough whatsoever. Okay, chin chin is very easy to put together, but trust me, it tastes amazing. Just trust the process and you will love it. Now let's wait patiently for the oil to get hot, and once that is done, I'll go in with my chin chin. Now I'll fry this on medium heat until it turns into the perfect golden brown color that I'm looking for. As always, you should be checking on it from time to time because we really want this chin chin to really come out very perfect. Alright, so whilst that is going on, if you haven't still given this video a thumbs up yet, baby, what are you waiting for? Can you give this video a thumbs up, and also do share this video to your lovely friends and family so they get to see this amazing and perfect ACHOMO recipe. Your baby girl is also on all social media platforms at Cooking with Efia, so do reach me out over there and let's vibe over there beautifully because I have amazing recipes to share with you over there as well. Thank you so much for doing that. Hello fam, so for our next party snack, let's take a very good look at this pancake recipe. Very easy to put together as usual, and trust me, you're going to love the outcome. So now without wasting much of your time, let's get started. For ingredients, I'll be using 4 eggs. You can as well use any amount of eggs that you want, but 4 is just perfect for this recipe. Next, I'm going to be using melted butter, granulated sugar. Moving forward, I'm also going to be using vanilla essence, nutmeg. For the essence, use any flavor of your choice. Moving forward, I'm also going to be using flour, which is all-purpose flour, evaporated milk, and salt to taste. So basically, this is going to be my ingredients. So moving forward to a bowl, I'm going to transfer all my 4 eggs, and I'll use my hand whisk to whisk until the eggs is nice and well mixed. After that is done, I'll go in with the rest of my ingredients. Alright, so moving forward, I'll go in with my sugar. Use any type of sugar that you want. Alright, moving forward, I'm going to mix the sugar alongside with the eggs until the sugar melts beautifully. While that is done, I'll also go in with my melted butter, vanilla essence, my evaporated milk, and I'll mix all together until everything is nice and well incorporated. Alright, so whilst that is also done, I'll go in with my dry ingredients, which I'll be going in with some salt to taste, nutmeg, and my flour. For the flour, you can also use any type of flour that you want as well. This is all-purpose flour. You can use self-rising flour, plain flour, soft flour, hard flour, just any flour that you want. All right, so I'll mix everything well, just the way you see it on your screens right now. With the hand mix, it's going to be very difficult a little bit when mixing it. It's going to create a little bit of lumps, but don't worry. You just have to take your time, be patient with it, and stir very well until you get lumps free. If you also don't want to stress yourself like this, you can transfer all your ingredients into a blender and you can blend until everything is nice and well combined, or you have lumps free, just the way you see it on your screens right now. And the consistency of your pancake shouldn't be very runny. This is the right consistency that I'm looking for, and it's just perfect. So moving forward to a pan, I'll drizzle just a little bit of oil, just the way you see it on the screens right now. I'll allow it to heat up a little bit and make sure not to turn the flame to high heat. The flame should be on low medium heat or low heat, and after it's nice and well heated, I'll go in with some of the pancake batter. I'll spread it out in the pan very well, just the way you see it on the screens right now, and afterwards I'll leave it on the fire for about 1 minute approximately, and it should be ready for you to flip it over. And after 40 seconds to 1 minute of being on the fire, it is turning out so great. It's looking all good right now, so it's ready. I'll flip it over for the other side to also fry a little bit. And at this point, I just didn't love the outcome. I was expecting it to be more brown, so I just have to flip it over again. But the other side was looking just perfect, and it was all done. Pancake doesn't take a lot of time to fry. Approximately 2 minutes, it should be okay. So as you can see, it turned out so great and just perfect. So I'm going to repeat the same process until everything is nice and ready. Remember not to use too much oil when frying pancake, and also make sure to lower your heat to achieve the perfect pancake ever. Alright, so now let's repeat the same process until everything is nice and ready. Alright, so fam, after frying the pancake, this is the outcome. It turned out really good and very inviting. If you are still with me at this point, thank you so much for staying with me, and also do subscribe for more content like this. Now, without wasting much of your time, let's move on to our next African party snack, which is fried meat pie. To a bowl, I'll go in with my all-purpose flour. I'm using 4 cups of all-purpose flour. Moving forward, I'll also go in with some nutmeg. This is half teaspoon of nutmeg. Next, I'll go in with some half teaspoon of salt as well. I'll stir everything together until all the ingredients are well incorporated. So whilst that is done, I'll go in with some salted butter. Since I'm using salted butter, you can omit the salts that are added to it totally. Alright, so moving forward, I'm going to mix the butter very well with the flour until the butter dissolves or mixes well with the flour very well. Alright, so after mixing all the ingredients together, this is how the consistency should look like. The butter should mix very well with the flour, just the way you see it on your screens right now, and it's just perfect. So next, I'll go in with my water, and the water, you should go in with it little by little until you achieve the perfect consistency that you're looking for. Remember to go in with the water little by little, because you might not have extra flour. That's why it's always advisable to go in with the water little by little until you achieve the perfect dough, just the way you see it on your screens right now. At this point, it's just perfect and ready. So I'm going to cover this and allow it to rest in the refrigerator for about 10 minutes and it should be ready. Whilst that is going on, let's go ahead and prepare our filling. And so I'm going to be using sausages for this recipe. You can as well use any meat of your choice. So next I'm going to transfer some of the sausages in my mini mortar, and I'm going to pound it until I reach a roughy texture. That's how I want it to be in the meat pie. You can as well use blender if that is what you want. Alright, moving forward, I'll go ahead and heat up my cooking oil. I'll allow the oil to heat up a little bit and I'll go in with my sausages. I'm going to fry this on low medium heat for about 5 minutes until I reach the desired consistency that I'm looking for. Alright, so now let's fry this until it's nice and ready. Whilst that is going on, if you haven't given this video a thumbs up yet, what are you waiting for? Kindly give this video a thumbs up. Also share this video to your lovely friends and family for them also to enjoy this amazing recipe as well. Thank you so much for doing that. Alright, so now the sausage is nice and ready, so I'll go in with my carrots. You can also use any vegetable of your choice. Alright, I'll go in with some chopped onions as well. Next I'll go in with some green pepper and I'll stir everything together very nicely. And if you are still with me at this point and you haven't still subscribed to the channel yet, what are you waiting for? Kindly do subscribe to the channel and be part of this beautiful family. Thank you so much for doing that. Alright, so while that is done, I'll go in with my seasoning, which I'll be going in with some chicken seasoning, curry powder and some salt to taste. Feel free to use any seasoning of your choice. Alright, so moving forward, I'll go in with some cabbage as well. I didn't want the cabbage to loosen up very well, so that's why I didn't go in with it with the rest of the ingredients or the vegetables. And moving forward, I'll also go in with some cornstarch as well, which I've mixed well with some water. You can also omit this process if you don't want to. This will help taking up the sauce from the vegetables, right? So next we're going to allow this to fry for about 5 to 10 minutes on low medium heat and it should be ready. Alright, so now our filling is nice and ready, so I'll allow you to cool down a little bit. So whilst that is going on, let's concentrate on our dough right now. The dough is out from the fridge after 10 minutes and it's very soft now. So let's cut them into the size that we can roll very well, right? We're going to roll out this dough until it's nice and very flat. The more it becomes flat or thin, the more the pie becomes very crunchy, alright? So now let's roll the dough until we reach the perfect size that we're looking for. Alright, so after getting the right thickness, I'm going to use this bowl lid to create my shapes. You can also use any shape of your choice, but this circle shape is just the best. Alright, so after getting the right shapes that you want, all you have to do is to fill your dough with your vegetable filling, just the way you see it on your screens right now. After that, flip it over and use your fork to seal it very nicely, just the way you see it on your screens right now. And now look at how beautiful and nice this meat pie looks right now. So I'm going to set this aside and repeat the same process until everything is nice and ready. So while that is going on, let me also use this opportunity to thank you all my returning subscribers and new foodie members right here. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for liking my videos, also sharing and commenting on my videos. Fam, I am very grateful. Thank you so much for doing that. Alright, so we are done with the filling of the pie. So now all that is left is for us to heat up some cooking oil. Use any cooking oil to fry your meat pie, alright? I'll allow it to heat up very well, and I'll drop in my meat pies, and I'm going to fry this on low medium heat until it is nice and ready. Remember as well to keep an eye on it so that the pies will turn out very beautifully. So let's fry until we achieve the perfect results. So if you are still with me at this point and you haven't still subscribed to the channel yet, baby, what are you waiting for? Kindly do subscribe to the channel. Also turn on the post notification bell so that anytime I upload new videos like this, you'll be among the first person to be notified. Thank you so much for doing that. Alright, so now our pie is ready. As you can see, it's looking all good and very golden. So I'm going to remove this from the oil and I'm going to repeat the same process until everything is nice and ready. Fam, also let me know in the comment section what you think about this Ghana fried meat pie. Now look at how the inside looks very delicious and the outside turned out very crispy. You will love this, so kindly try it. Thank you so much and see you in the next one. As you all know from the title, I am making Ghanaian dry puff puff recipe in 2 different ways. In fact, you're going to love this. So all you have to do right now is to trust the process. If you are new to my channel, hello, this is Cooking with Sophia. Kindly do subscribe and be part of this amazing family. Now without wasting much of your time, let's get started. So in my clean bowl, I'll go in with some all-purpose flour. I'll be listing everything in the description box for you to check it out. Next, I'll also go in with 1/2 cup of sugar. Moving forward, I'll crack in 2 eggs. You can use 1 if that is what you want, okay? Moving forward, I'll also go in with my nutmeg. I'm using 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg. Next, I'll go in with about 4 tablespoons of evaporated milk, 1 tablespoon of active dried yeast. Next, I'll go in with some salt to taste, and I'll also go in with some vanilla essence to give it extra flavor. Feel free to use any flavor of your choice. Moving forward, I also go in with 2 tablespoons of salted butter or margarine. I will stir everything together, and once that is done, I also go in with some fresh whole milk. If you don't want to use milk, use water instead, okay? Now let's combine everything together using the spatula. You can also go in with your hands right now, and we're going to mix everything together until it forms a very beautiful dough. All the dough comes out from the bowl very nicely, just the way you see it on your screens right now. Always remember to go in with your liquid little by little, so that should in case you don't have any excess flour, your dough won't turn out to be very soft, okay? So now let's knead it on the working surface, just the way you see it on the screens right now. If the dough is also sticking on the working surface, just sprinkle more flour to the working surface, and we will knead until it becomes very stiff and stretchy, just the way you see it on the screens right now. One more thing, the kneading process in this recipe is very important. So if you don't want to stress yourself using your hand, you can also use your machine mixer to mix your dough, and trust me, it works perfectly fine. Now let's knead the dough for about 10 to 15 minutes with our hands, and as you can see, it looks super stretchy and very soft at the same time. So now that the dough is nice and very stretchy, all that is left right now is to cut it into 2 equal parts, and I'm going to set one aside, and for the other half I'm going to go in with a little bit of turmeric powder, and that is what is going to give it that yellow color that you normally see on market. Some people choose to go in with yellow food color, and that's just fine. If you don't have the yellow food color, feel free to use turmeric powder and you are good to go. Now I'm going to knead the dough for about 5 minutes for it to change into a yellow color just like this. As you can see, it's looking super good and perfect. Now the only difference in this two is just the color. Some people choose to go in with yellow food color to make it more inviting and appetizing, so you can choose not to add it, and that's just fine. Okay, so now let's fold or mold the dough into a beautiful round ball shape, just the way you see it in the screens right now. Always remember to seal your dough very well so that it won't open in the frying process. Alright, so now while that is going on, let me also use this opportunity to thank you all my returning subscribers and new foodie members right here. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for liking my videos, sharing, and also commenting on my videos, fam. I am very grateful. Thank you so much for doing that. Alright, so after molding everything, I'll cover the dough for about 30 to 1 hour, and after 1 hour it has really doubled in size very well, and that's what I'm looking for. Now all that is left right now is to start to heat up some cooking oil, and we're going to fry this right away. One thing we should also consider is not to make the oil very hot, because we really want this dry puff puff to really come out very nice and golden. So on a low medium heat, we're going to fry this until it turns into the perfect golden brown color that we're looking for. As always, I'll be coming back to check on it from time to time. If you are still with me at this point and you haven't still given this video a thumbs up yet, baby, what are you waiting for? Can you give this video a thumbs up, and also do share this video to your lovely friends and family so they get to see this amazing and delicious puff puff recipe as well. Also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that yet, because it is absolutely free. Thank you so much for doing that. Alright, so now after frying the dough on low medium heat for about 2 to 3 minutes, this is the outcome. It is turning out just perfect and just as I want. And so I'm going to flip it over for the other side to also fry a little bit for about 2 minutes, and afterwards everything should be ready. This dry puff puff was just a banger. It was really delicious, and I hope you are going to try your hands on, and your party guests are really going to enjoy themselves. Now let's move on to our next party snack, which is our all-time favorite cookies. So as I said, today we're making cookies, and trust me, this cookies is 1 in a million. It is so good and you will definitely love it. Now without wasting much of your time, let's get started. To my mixing bowl, I'll go in with 250 grams of salted butter or margarine. I'm using this type. Feel free to use any type of butter or margarine of your choice. Okay, whilst that is done, I'll go in with my hand whisk, and I'll whisk until the butter becomes very creamy. As you can see, it's looking very yellow, and so we're going to whisk until it becomes more light and very easy to work with. Now let's whisk, and once that is done, we will proceed to the next stage. Now whilst that is going on, let me also use this opportunity to thank you all my returning subscribers and new foodie members right here. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for liking my videos, sharing, and also commenting on my videos, fam. I am very grateful. If you haven't still subscribed, kindly do subscribe and be part of this amazing family. Thank you so much. Alright, so now we're done whisking. The butter, as you can see, is looking very soft right now. So moving forward, I'll go in with about 2 tablespoons of custard powder. Trust me, this custard took this biscuit taste to another level. So kindly try it and thank me later. Next, I'll go in with 1 tablespoon of vanilla essence. Kindly use any flavor of your choice. You can use pineapple, grapes, just any flavor can do, okay? Alright, so I'll mix everything together, and once that is done, I also go in with half cup of condensed milk, and this condensed milk is going to replace sugar. You can choose to add in sugar and condensed milk at the same time, but trust me, the condensed milk works perfectly fine. Okay, now let's mix everything together until all is nice and well incorporated. Alright, so now that everything is nice and well incorporated, I'll go in with my all-purpose flour. Feel free to use self-raising flour or plain flour for this recipe, okay? Now I'm using 3 cups of all-purpose flour, but when I was done stirring everything together, I realized it was a little bit soft. I mean, the dough was a little bit soft, so I needed to go in with about half cup of all-purpose flour, so making 3.5 cups of flour. Kindly note it. Okay, now let's stir everything together very nicely until all is nice and well combined, and also make sure the dough also comes out from the bowl very nicely. Alright, so fam, at this point, if you haven't still given this video a thumbs up yet, baby, what are you waiting for? Kindly give this video a thumbs up, and also to share this video to your lovely friends and family so they get to see this amazing recipe as well. Thank you so much for doing that. Alright, so previously when I uploaded my first ever shortbread cookies recipe, I had a lot of comments about what if I don't place the dough in the refrigerator, what will happen? And trust me, it won't change the taste or anything. It just makes the dough very easy to work with, and after baking, trust me, you'll have the best consistency or crispness that you want. Okay, now this dough in particular, I didn't put it in refrigerator, but trust me, it turned out so good. It all depends on accurate measurements. Okay, so now let's cut the dough using my all-time favorite cookies cutter, which is the love shape bowl, which I always use any cookies cutter or object that can help you create these beautiful looks. Okay, if you don't have cookies cutter or anything, feel free to use your knife as well, and you are good to go. Okay, while that is going on, let me still remind you that subscribing is free. So if you haven't still done that yet, baby, what are you waiting for? Kindly do subscribe to my channel. Also do turn on the post notification bell so that anytime I upload new videos like this, you will be among the first person to be notified. And also do let me know in the comment section what you think about this cookies recipe, and trust me, I'll be glad to read all your beautiful comments down below. I love to read comments, so don't forget to leave me a comment, okay? Also do share this video to your lovely friends and family so they get to see this amazing and perfect cookies recipe as well. Thank you so much for doing that. Alright, so as you can see, I am cutting the rest of the dough into the famous shortbread shapes that we normally see. I'll also use my fork to create a small holes on it to make it more presentable. You can also leave it just like that and you are good to go. Now I'm going to bake this in my oven. You can also use your stovetop, your air fryer, anything that can help you bake this perfectly fine. Just use it, okay? And I'll be baking this under 180 degrees Celsius for about 10 to 15 minutes and it should be ready. And voila, after extra 10 to 15 minutes, this is what we have. The cookies turn out just perfect and I love how golden it turned out as well. Thank you so much and see you in my next one. So the next one I'll be talking about is African drop donuts, one of the easiest recipe that you can think of. Trust me on this one. Now without wasting much of your time, let's get started. To a bowl, I'll go in with some salted margarine. You can also use butter for this recipe, okay? Now since this is salted margarine, I'm not going to go in with any salt. Moving forward, I'll go in with half cup of sugar. Always adjust to your taste, okay? Now I'm going to use my hand whisk to whisk until everything is nice and well incorporated, and also make sure the margarine turns into a creamy color, and from there we will proceed to the next stage. Now whilst that is going on, let me use this opportunity to thank you all my returning subscribers and new foodie members right here. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for liking my video, sharing and also commenting on my videos, fam. I am very grateful. Thank you so much for doing that. Alright, so after getting the right consistency that I'm looking for, I'll go in with 2 eggs, vanilla essence and also some nutmeg, and I'm going to whisk all together again and so it's nice and well incorporated. If you don't want to stress yourself using the hand whisk, feel free to use your machine mix and you are good to go. Now after stirring everything together very nicely, I'll also go in with some orange zest. You can omit this if you don't want to, okay? Don't forget as well to go in with some evaporated milk. Feel free to use any milk of your choice. Now let's stir everything together very nicely until all is nice and well incorporated. And once that is done, I'll go in with my all-purpose flour. Now don't worry, I'm going to be listing everything I use in the description box for you to check it out. Now let's stir everything together once again until the flour incorporates very well with the rest of the ingredients. Don't forget as well to go in with some baking soda. It is totally optional, okay? Now whilst that is going on, let me also use this opportunity to thank you all my returning subscribers and new foodie members right here. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for liking my videos, sharing and also commenting on my videos, fam. I am very grateful. And if you haven't still given this video a thumbs up yet, baby, what are you waiting for? Kindly give this video a thumbs up and also do share this video to your lovely friends and family so they get to see this amazing and delicious donuts recipe as well. And also subscribing is free, so if you haven't still done that yet, kindly do subscribe to the channel and also turn on the post notification bell so that anytime I upload new videos like this, you'll be among the first person to be notified. Thank you so much for doing that. Alright, so after mixing the dough, this is the right thickness that I'm looking for. Not too hard and not too soft, just perfect for the recipe. Now all that is left right now is to start to heat up some cooking oil and start to fry this right away. With this donut recipe, no need resting the dough. After mixing All that is left is to start to fry until everything turns into the perfect golden brown color that we're looking for. Always make sure to fry this on low medium heat. And at this point, trust me, I just didn't know why I was just scooping just a little amount of dough in the oil, but just don't mind. If you want yours to be a little bit big, just feel free to scoop in more so that your donut will come out very big. Okay, at the end is the taste and the outcome that matters. Okay, so now let's fry on low medium heat until everything turns into the perfect golden brown color that we're looking for. We are back to check on the donut after extra 3 to 5 minutes, and this is the outcome. As you can see, it's looking all golden and just perfect. Now all that is left is to remove this from the oil, and we're going to place this on a paper towel to also absorb the oil on the donut a little bit. And once that is done, we will proceed to fry the second batch. As you can see, this time around I used my measuring cup to scoop in the dough. Okay, use any method that makes you feel comfortable. Now let's fry the second batch as well until everything turns into the perfect golden brown color that we're looking for, just like this. Fam, let me know in the comment section what you think about this drop donut recipe. I love the outcome. The taste was just amazing as well. If you are thinking of making a party, then trust me, this is one of the best snacks to serve your visitors. Trust me, they will love it. All you have to do right now is to trust the process. If you have egg, butter or margarine, then make this super delicious, crunchy, easy shortbread cookies recipe. You will love this. As you can see, it turned out so perfect, and at the end of the video you are definitely going to make these cookies your #1 favorite biscuit of all time. If you are new here, do subscribe to my channel and be part of this beautiful family. Now let's get started. In my mixing bowl, I'll go in with 2 medium-sized eggs. Next, I'll go in with half cup of sugar. Moving forward, I'll also go in with half teaspoon of vanilla essence and 1 cup of butter or margarine. Use the very soft butter or margarine so that the mixing process will be a little bit easy. Okay, I will stir everything together using my hand wicks. You can also use your machine wicks to do this, and trust me, it works perfectly fine. So I'll use my hand wicks to whisk it for about 10 minutes and it should be ready. It's been 10 minutes now, and this is how it turned out. It turned out very soft and very creamy, and that's just perfect. Next, I'll go in with my all-purpose flour. For the flour, you can also use plain flour or self-raising flour for this recipe, and trust me, it works perfectly fine as well. I'll stir everything together very nicely, and once that is done, I'll proceed to the next stage. Whilst that is going on, if you haven't still given this video a thumbs up yet, kindly give this video a thumbs up and also share this video to your lovely friends and family for them also to enjoy this amazing recipe as well. Thank you so much for doing that. Alright, so moving forward, as you can see, I'm going in with a little bit of evaporated milk. This is about 1/4 cup of evaporated milk. If you don't want to use the milk, you can also use water to do this, and it works perfectly fine as well. But if you want it more rich and delicious, then you need to go in with either milk powder or evaporated milk, and you are good to go. I'll combine everything together, and the dough should come out from the bowl very nicely, just the way you see it on the screens right now. At this point, the dough is nice and ready. I'm going to wrap this in my cling film. I'll keep it in my refrigerator to refrigerate for about 30 minutes, and it should be ready. Keeping it in the refrigerator makes it very easy to work with, so kindly note it. Now, whilst that is going on, I would love to use this opportunity to thank you all my returning subscribers and new foodie members right here. You guys are too much. High five to everyone. Thank you so much for liking my video, sharing, also commenting on my videos. I am very grateful, and if you haven't given this video a thumbs up yet, kindly do that, and also do turn on the post notification bell so that anytime I upload new videos like this, you'll be among the first person to be notified. Thank you so much for doing that. Alright, so after the dough has been in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes now, I'll use my rolling pin to roll out the dough, just the way you see it on your screens right now. And once that is done, use any cutter of your choice to cut your cookies according to how you want it, whether being a bowl, a knife, or a cookies cutter. Feel free to use it, and you are good to go. So as you all know, I love to use this love shape bowl, so today that's what I'm going to be using, and also my all-time favorite butter cookie shape that I'll be using my knife to do it. So the leftovers that I had, I used my crinkle cutter to cut it, and trust me, it also turned out just perfect as well. I'm going to be baking this in my oven, and I'll be baking the rest in my air fryer. So whether being oven or without oven, or even on your stove top, you can still achieve this perfect consistency. Alright, so let's cut our cookies, and while that is done, we will begin to bake it. And if you are still with me at this point and you haven't still followed me on all social media platforms, baby, what are you waiting for? Kindly do follow me on all social media platforms at Cooking with Efia. And trust me, I share amazing recipes over there, and you are definitely going to love this. Also do subscribe to the channel because it is absolutely free. Thank you so much for doing that. Alright, so I created this beautiful shapes with my crinkle cutter. As I said, use any cutter of your choice, and I love this crinkle shape very well. Alright, so now I'm going to place my second batch also in my air fryer, and I'll bake for about 180 degrees Celsius for 10 minutes. And afterwards, this is how everything turned out. It turned out so perfect and just crispy. I love the outcome so much. Hello lovelies, welcome back, and I hope everybody is doing all good. In today's video, I share with you this party style savory chips. It's very easy to put together, very delicious, and it's very crispy. You will love this. All you have to do is to trust the process. If you are new to my channel, hello, this is Cooking with Efia. Kindly do subscribe and be part of this amazing family. Now let's get started. To a bowl, I'll go in with my all-purpose flour. Next, I'll also go in with some matured blended coconuts. Moving forward, I'll go in with nutmeg, sugar. Next, I'll go in with some salt to taste. Next on the list, I'll also go in with salted butter. Last but not the least, I'll mash one banana. Trust me, all these ingredients coming together took the taste of the savory chips to another level. You will love this, trust me on this one. So now let's mash the banana, and once that is done, I'll add it to my ingredients. And don't worry, I'm going to be listing everything I used and the quantity as well in the description box for you to check it out. So do check it out after the video. Alright, so now I'm not going to go in with any water. I'm going to be using evaporated milk to mix my dough. And don't forget, I use water to blend the coconut, so the dough itself is a little bit soft. So when going in with the milk, just be very careful you don't go in with a lot of milk. If you don't have the milk as well, feel free to use water and you are good to go. Now let's combine everything together until the dough comes out from the bowl very nicely, just the way you see it on your screens right now. So next I'll remove it from the bowl, and moving forward I'll begin to knead it a little bit for about 1 minute, and once that is done, we will proceed by rolling it out until I get to the right thickness that I'm looking for. Always make sure to dust your working surface because we don't want the dough to be sticking to it at all, okay? Now whilst that is going on, let me also use this opportunity to thank you all my returning subscribers and new foodie members right here. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for liking my videos, sharing, and also commenting on my videos, fam. I am very grateful. Thank you so much for doing that. Alright, so now after rolling out the dough, this is the thickness that I have. It's a little bit thick, and I really want my chips to really come out very crispy, so I needed to roll it out a little bit, and this is what we have. It's looking just perfect, just as I want it. So I'll set it aside and I'll repeat the same process until I am done with everything. At this point, if you are still with me and you haven't still given this video a thumbs up yet, baby, what are you waiting for? Can you give this video a thumbs up and also share this video to your lovely friends and family so they get to see this amazing recipe as well. Thank you so much for doing that. Alright, so moving forward, let's heat up our cooking oil. Use any type of oil of your choice, okay? Let's allow it to heat up for about 2 minutes, and once that is done, I will test it with one of the dough to see if it's nice and very hot. And as you can see, the chips is floating, and that indicates that it's ready for me to go in with the rest of my chips. So I'll split it like this. You can also cut it using your knife, your scissors, and you are good to go. But splitting it makes it very beautiful after frying, and also it makes it more presentable, trust me. So now let's add everything to the oil, and we're going to fry this on low medium heat. Kindly note it. Now let's fry this on low medium heat until everything turns out very perfect. While that is going on, let me still remind you that subscribing is free. So if you haven't still done that yet, kindly do subscribe to my channel because it is absolutely free. Thank you so much for doing that. Alright, so we are back to check on the chips after 2 to 3 minutes, and this is how it turned out. It's looking all golden, crispy, and very presentable, just the way I want it. Let me know in the comment section what you think about this delicious and crispy coconut and banana savory chips. I hope you're going to try and you will love it. Today I share with you this simple coconut recipe. We are making coconut candy, one of my favorites, and it's going to be your favorite from now onwards. So all you have to do is to sit back and enjoy. To begin with this recipe, I will need my matured coconut, and I'll crack it very well, just the way you see it on the screens right now. For this recipe, we need just the flesh of the coconut and not the water. The water is very important as well, so you can drink it or discard it if you don't want to. Alright, so next I'm going to use my knife to remove the flesh of the coconut from the shells, just the way you see it on your screens right now. And whilst that is done, I'll transfer it into a different bowl. I'll go in with some water and I'll wash it for about 2 to 3 times until the water runs out very clean. Alright, so moving forward, I'm going to grate my coconuts. You can also use your blender to do this, but typically we grate it to get this perfect consistency. Right, so it's always advisable to grate your coconut anytime you want to make this type of coconut candy. So I'm going to grate all the coconuts, and afterwards I'm going to dry it in the sun for approximately 1 hour. I want the water in the coconut to drain out a little bit. This is how you're going to have a very good or hard candy. If you don't want your candy to become a little bit hard, you can omit the drying process. So in this recipe, I made both the dry ones and the soft ones, so you're going to see it at the end of the video. The reason why you should dry your coconuts, and if you don't want it too hard as well, you can just omit it. So moving forward, I'll go ahead and melt some sugar, and I'm going to melt this sugar on low medium heat until the sugar turns into brown or it turns into a perfect nice caramelized color. So now let's do this until it's nice and ready. Whilst that is going on, let me also use this opportunity to thank you all my returning subscribers and new foodie members right here. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for liking my videos, sharing, also commenting on my videos. Fam, I am very grateful. Thank you so much for doing that. Alright, so I added about a pinch of salt and a little bit of vanilla essence to give it more taste and flavor as well, but unfortunately I lost the place where I was adding in the vanilla essence, so you just have to pardon me for it. Alright, so now that the coconut is also in, I'll stir everything together, allow it to fry for about 10 minutes on low medium heat until the coconut also turns into a little bit brown. That's how you know it's ready. And also you're going to test it in water, just a little bit of the coconut in water to see if it will harden up, and that's when you know the coconut candy is ready. So I'm going to allow it to cool down for about 10 minutes, and afterwards I will start by molding my coconut candy. And as usual, I'm going to mold it in this circle shapes as we normally see on the streets. So now let's mold it and set it aside. Whilst that is going on, if you haven't still, give this video a thumbs up yet. Baby, what are you waiting for? Can you give this video a thumbs up? Also share this video to your lovely friends and family for them also to enjoy this amazing recipe as well. Do well to subscribe as well because it is absolutely free, and also turn on the post notification bell so that you'll be among the first person anytime I post new video. Alright, so now we are done molding the candy, and as you can see, it looks all great and just perfect. I love how it turned out. So fam, let me know in the comment section what you think about this coconut candy. And as I said, I make this coconut candy in 2 different ways. The first method is the soft one, which you don't need to dry the coconut. And as you can see, the first method looks very soft, but not too hard as we normally see on the streets. And so as we're planning towards our next African party, you also need to make sure to make both soft and hard candy so that your visitors will have varieties to choose from. Okay, now see how crispy or hard it turned out. That is how I want it. You can also choose the soft type and you are good to go. Okay, now let's move on to our next African party snack, which is our chocolate cookies. Where are my chocolate shortbread cookies lovers? I got you. This recipe is 1 in a million. It is so amazing and you will love it. So now without wasting my time, let's dive right in. So to a bowl, I'll go in with my salted butter. You can also use any type of butter that you want. Next, I'll also go in with unsalted butter as well. And I'll be listing everything I used in the description box for you to check it out. Moving forward, I'll go in with some granulated sugar. You can also use icing sugar and it works perfectly fine. I'll also go in with some vanilla essence. Use any flavor of your choice. Next, I'll go in with my hand whisk and I'm going to whisk this or mix very well until the sugar dissolves very well. If you also have machine mixer, you can also use that one because it works very fast as well. So while that is going on, let me use this opportunity to thank you all my returning subscribers and new foodie members right here. You guys are amazing. Thank you for always liking my videos, sharing and commenting on my videos, fam. I am very grateful. Thank you so much for doing that. Alright, so after getting the right consistency, I'll go in with some chocolate or cocoa powder. You can also use one if that is what you want. I'll also go in with some evaporated milk as well. I'll stir everything together until all the ingredients are well incorporated. Remember, in this recipe, I didn't use any salt because of the salted butter. But if you want to add just a pinch of salt, it is allowed. Alright, so after getting the right consistency, I also go in with my flour. I'm using all-purpose flour. Remember as well to go in with some clean hands and we're going to mix this dough until the dough comes out from the bowl very nicely. If you are new to my channel, hello, this is Cooking with Efia. I do share inspiring and easy recipes right here. So if you love what you're seeing right now and you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Can you do subscribe to my channel? Also turn on the post notification bell so that anytime I upload new videos, you'll be among the first person to be notified. Thank you so much for doing that. Alright, so after mixing the dough, this is how the dough should look like. It should be very soft and it should come out from the bowl very nicely, just the way you see it on your screens right now. So while that is done, I'm going to keep this in my refrigerator for about 30 minutes and afterwards I will start to roll out the dough using my rolling pin to get the perfect size that I want. If you don't want to keep your dough in the fridge as well, it is totally optional. You can omit it as well, right? So you just have to mix your dough and after getting the right thickness that you want, you start by rolling out your dough and you cut them into the shapes or the sizes that you want. So after rolling out the dough, this is the perfect size that I'll be going for. So I'll begin to trim the sizes a little bit, just the way you see it on your screens right now, and afterwards I will cut them into the shortbread shapes that we normally see on market. You can as well cut them into any shapes of your choice as well, but this is just perfect. Next, I will use my fork to create that small holes that we normally see on our cookies. You can also omit it if you don't want to. And afterwards, I'm going to be baking this in my air fryer. You can also bake this in the oven if that is what you want, but today I'm going to be using my air fryer because it's been long since I used this air fryer. I just want to disturb it a little bit. Okay, so that was just by the way. So I'm going to arrange my shortbread cookies into my air fryer just the way you see it on the screens right now, and afterwards I'm going to bake this for about 160 degrees Fahrenheit for 10 to 15 minutes, and it should be ready. So now let's go and bake it, and afterwards we will see the magic of these cookies. And after baking it, this is how it turned out. I love how it turned out, and your kids and the whole family are really going to enjoy this chocolate shortbread cookies. Also, let me know in the comment section what you think about these cookies as well, and I'll be glad to read all your beautiful comments down below. Alright, so to a bowl, I'll go in with my all-purpose flour. Moving forward, I'll also go in with my salt to taste. Next, I'll go in with my nutmeg, and also I'll also be going in with some baking powder as well. I'll stir everything together until everything is nice and well incorporated. Alright, so whilst that is done, I'll also go in with my blended garlic and onions. Moving forward, I'll also go in with my eggs, and don't worry, I'm going to be listing everything in the description box for you to check it out. Next, I'll go in with my hands, and I'll be mixing everything together until it becomes very uniform. While that is going on, don't forget as well to give this video a thumbs up if you haven't done that yet, and also please you will to share this video to reach wider audience. Thank you so much for doing that. Moving forward, I'll go in with my salted butter. You can as well use unsalted butter for this recipe if that is what you have or you want. I'll stir everything together until the butter incorporates very well with the flour. All right. Alright, so moving forward, I'll also be going in with my evaporated milk. You can as well use water to do this, but if you want it more rich and more tasty, going in with the milk is the best option, fam. Alright, so after everything, we also want to make sure to mix the flour until it forms into a perfect dough, just the way you see it on your screens right now. It should not be too stiff and it should not be too soft. It's just perfect and ready. So next, I'm going to be rolling out the dough using my rolling pin. You can also use any roller of your choice to roll out your dough to get a perfect size. Alright, so whilst we are also rolling out to get a perfect size, let me also use this opportunity to also thank you all my returning subscribers and new foodie members right here. You guys are amazing. Thank you for always liking my video, sharing and commenting on my videos, fam. I am very grateful. Thank you so much for doing that. Alright, so since we're going to be making sausage rolls, obviously I'm going to be using sausages, and you can as well use any type of sausage that you want. I'm using chicken sausage for this recipe. Alright, so after rolling out the dough to get the perfect size that I want, I will place one sausage on the dough just the way you see it on the screens right now, and afterwards I will begin to roll it just the way you see it on the screens right now. Very, very easy and just perfect. So after you are done rolling the sausage alongside with the dough, You just have to make sure to seal it very nicely with just water or egg wash or any other thing that can help you seal it very nicely, just the way you see it on the screens right now. You can leave it just like that if you want your sausage rolls to be very long, and I just wanted it very cute, just the way you see it on the screens right now. So I needed to cut them into two. As I said, you can just leave it if you don't want to cut them. All right, so now let's repeat it one more time until we are done with everything. So while that is going on, don't forget as well to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that yet. Also turn on the post notification bell so that anytime I upload a new video on this channel, you'll be among the first person to be notified. Thank you so much for doing that. So we are done with everything. So all that is left is to brush the toppings of this sausage roll with some egg wash or milk, so that after baking it's going to look very presentable and appetizing. All right, so I'm going to be baking this in my oven for about 160 degrees Celsius for 10 minutes, and afterwards, as you can see, it turned out so good, very perfect, and looks very delicious. Try this for your next African party snack and you're going to love it. So now let's move on to our next recipe, which is our coconut cookies or shortbread cookies. I'll start by mixing my ingredients. So to a bowl, I'll go in with my butter. Moving forward, I'll also go in with my sugar. And don't worry, I'm going to be listing everything in the description box for you to check it out. After the sugar is also in the bowl, I'll use my spatula to mix it until everything is nice and well combined. Right, so once that is done, I'll go in with my hand whisk, and I'm going to be whixing until the sugar dissolves very well, or the butter and the sugar becomes very creamy. All right, so now let's whisk it until everything is nice and well incorporated. All right, so whilst that is going on, let me also use this opportunity to thank you all my returning subscribers and new foodie members right here. You guys are amazing. Thank you for always liking my videos, sharing and commenting on my videos, fam. I am very grateful. Thank you so much for doing that. All right, so after the sugar and the butter is well combined, I'll go in with my flour and also my coconut flakes. I will mix all together, and I realized the flour wasn't enough, so I needed to go in with more flour. Moving forward, I also go in with some fresh coconut milk and also some vanilla essence for extra flavor. All right, I will stir all ingredients together until everything is nice and well combined. So after mixing all the ingredients to get this perfect consistency, remember the dough shouldn't be very soft. If it's soft, then you need to go in with more flour, and it shouldn't be very hard as well. So afterwards, I'll cover the dough just the way you see it on your screens right now. I'll keep it in my refrigerator for about 30 to 1 hour for the dough to become very soft and for it to become very easy to work with. All right, and after 30 to 40 minutes, it is all done. So I remove it and begin to roll out the dough just the way you see it on your screens right now. And after rolling out the dough to get the right thickness that you want, you need to go in with your biscuit cutters or any other shapes that you want to use to cut your biscuits. Feel free to use it. I'm using this small bowl right here, which have this love shape, and I really do love it when I use it to cut my biscuits. You can as well use any cutter of your choice. All right, so now let's cut it until everything is nice and ready. Alright, so whilst we rolling and cutting our dough, if you haven't still subscribed to this channel yet, please, what are you waiting for? Kindly do me a favor by subscribing if you love what I'm doing. Also, please do well to share this video to reach wider audience. Thank you so much for doing that. Alright, so after cutting the cookies to my desired shapes, I will be coating the cookies with my coconut crumbs, just the way you see it on the screens right now. And afterwards, I will set it aside and repeat the same process until all the cookies are coated well with the coconut crumbs. And after I am done coating the cookies with the coconut crumbs, I'm going to be baking this in my oven, and I'll be baking it for about 160 degrees Celsius for 20 minutes. And afterwards, this is how it turned out. As you can see, it turned out so good. In fact, upon all the cookies recipes I've made, this is the best recipe ever. This was very delicious, and trust me, if I say trust me, then you know definitely this is going to really taste really good. Fam, let me know in the comment section what you think about this coconut cookies recipe. It came out so good, as you can see, and the taste was just lovely as well. Alright, so fam, let's take a very good look at this last but one African party snack idea that you can try your hands on. This is no-yeast dry puff puff, one of the easiest puff puff that you can think of. All you have to do is to trust the process. Now do watch the video to the end and you will love the entire process. For this no-yeast dry puff puff recipe, I'll be using my plain flour, and I'll be making self-rising flour out of this. Some people ask me, how do I make my self-rising flour? I use plain flour, salty taste, and baking powder to make my self-rising flour. So if you don't have yeast in the house, don't worry yourself at all. You are good to go with this recipe. You can also use all-purpose flour to substitute the self-rising flour, alright? So in a bowl, I added in my plain flour, my sugar. I also added in some baking powder, salted butter, and I'll add in 1 tablespoon of vanilla essence. Don't worry about it because I'm going to list everything I use in the description box for you to check it out. I'll add in my powdered milk. You can also use evaporated milk if you want. I'll add in my 2 eggs, a salt to taste, and I added in about half cup of water. Remember to add the water little by little because we want the dough to come out from the bowl very stiff and not very watery or very soft. Okay, so now let's mix everything together until we achieve the perfect consistency that we're looking for. And also, to achieve the perfect yellow puff puff that you want, I added in my turmeric powder. I nearly forgot this one. You can also use yellow food color, or you can omit it totally if you don't want any color in your puff puff. Okay, it's totally optional, so I'm adding in more because I wanted to achieve the perfect yellow color that I want. Okay, so I'm going to knead the dough very well until the dough becomes very soft, very fluffy, and very stretchy. Remember, the kneading process in this dough or in this puff puff recipe is so important. So kneading this for about 30 minutes or 20 minutes with your hands is just perfect. So I'm going to press the dough to see if it bounces back, and of course it did so. So this indicates that you have the perfect dough ever. So I'm going to allow this to rest for about 24 hours in my refrigerator. Okay, if you don't have that much time, you can allow it to rest for about 1 hour in your refrigerator if you want. We want the dough to become very soft, and also for the rest of the ingredients to relax itself in the dough very well. And this is after 24 hours of resting the dough. It came out so nice. It looks as if I added in some yeast, but no, this is no yeast puff puff recipe, so there's no yeast in this. Okay, so I will need this for extra 5 more minutes for it to become extra soft and very stretchy. And I'm doing this because I want the dough to float in the oil when I'm frying it. I don't want it to sink under it because I didn't add in yeast. So kneading it is very important. Okay, so after kneading it for extra 5 minutes, I then go ahead and cut my dough into the sizes that I prefer. I'll be enjoying this alone in the house, so eyeballing it is just perfect. You can choose to measure them if you are doing this for business purposes. All right, so after stretching them into the sizes that you prefer, I'll then go ahead and fold the dough into one direction, just the way I am doing it, to make the sealing very tight. Trust me, if you don't fold the dough very well, it is going to open in the frying process, and we don't want that to happen at all. Okay, so now let's fold the dough just the way I'm doing it to achieve the perfect round balls that we're looking for, just like this. This is looking so perfect, and this is how we want the balls to look like. Okay, so now let's set this aside and repeat the process one more time. And to my lovely subscribers and new foodie members right here, you guys are too much. High five to everyone. Thank you for liking my video, sharing and commenting on my videos. I am truly grateful. And if you haven't subscribed yet, kindly do subscribe and be part of this beautiful family. Thank you so much for doing that. Alright, so after folding or getting the desired balls, I'm going to start by frying this immediately. Okay, since we don't have no yeast in it, there's no need resting this dough again. Okay, so after folding it, just start to heat up your oil and make sure the oil is not very hot. With this puff puff recipe, we don't make the oil hot. As you can see, the oil is not hot. So I'll fry this on low medium heat until we achieve the perfect golden brown color that we're looking for, and make sure to stir until you get that perfect golden brown color that we're looking for. And when your dough or your puff puff floats on the surface of your oil like this indicates you achieved the perfect dough ever, and at this point it's ready. So now let's remove this from the oil, and also make sure to place this on paper towels to absorb the oil from the puff puff a little bit. Okay, and so let me know in the comment section what you think about no yeast dry puff puff recipe. It came out so good, and let me know what you're going to pair with this dry puff puff recipe. Hello lovelies, welcome back again to another video. Today I'm here to share with you this simple polo recipe or coconut biscuit recipe with you. Let's get started. For this recipe, I'll be needing my all-purpose flour. To that, I'm going to add in sugar. I'll list everything I use in the description box for you to check it out. I'll also go in with some baking powder, nutmeg for flavor, salt to taste, and I'll also go in with some salted butter. You can use unsalted butter also if you want. Okay, now after that, I'm going to grate my matured coconut right here. This recipe requires for this matured coconut. If it's not matured, it's not going to work out for you. Okay, so for presentation purposes, I'm going to grate just one of it to show you how you can grate your coconut to make your polo recipe. You can also blend it, but if you want to blend it, make sure not to blend for it to become very smooth, because we want that chunkiness of coconut in the biscuit that we're making. Okay, so after grating it, this is how it's supposed to look like. After that, I'm going to add in my blended coconut and also the grated coconut into my mixing bowl. This is about 1.5 cup of coconut flakes, and after that I'm going to add in some coconut milk as well. If you don't have the coconut milk, you can also go in with water if you want. Okay, now I'm going to mix everything until the dough comes out from the bowl very nicely and very clean. Alright, so this is the perfect dough or the consistency that I'll be going for. So next, on my working surface, I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of flour on it to make sure the dough doesn't stick to the board when I'm rolling out the dough. So with the help of my rolling pin, I'm going to roll out the dough very nicely, just the way you're seeing it on your screens right now, to get a very perfect size that I'll be going for. And so at this point, I am at the right thickness that I'll be going for, so this is just perfect. Next, I'm going to be trimming the sizes of this dough. You don't have to do this is totally optional, okay? After that, I'm going to cut the dough into the sizes that I'll be going for, but I'm going to cut this into the polo shapes that we normally do. Okay, you can as well cut this biscuit in any shapes that you feel comfortable or you want to cut them into. Okay, and after getting your desired shapes, you just have to heat up your oil and start frying this biscuit right away. It's so easy and very quick. So whilst we cutting this biscuit, let me use this opportunity to thank you all my returning subscribers and new foodie members right here. You guys are too much. High five to everyone. Thank you for liking my video, sharing and commenting on my videos, fam. I am truly grateful. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, what are you waiting for? Kindly do subscribe to my channel, hit that bell also, so that anytime I upload a new video, you'll be among the first person to be notified. Thank you so much for doing that. Tap my oil and start frying this biscuit right away. Alright, so fam, if you are still with me, thank you so much for your lovely support. I believe you have watched the video from beginning to the end, and trust me, I truly appreciate you, and God bless you for your lovely support towards this channel. And so I believe at this point, if you are thinking of making a mini party or a bigger party, trust me, you have a fair idea on what to put on the table. You're going to love the entire process, so do watch the video to the end if you haven't done that yet. Also give this video a thumbs up and do share this video to your lovely friends and family so they get to see this amazing African party snacks idea. Thank you so much for your lovely support, and I truly appreciate you all. Thank you once again, and see you in my next upload. Bye.